The whole thing came from a bad sandwich, how I actually ended up meeting her. Typical work day, it was actually kind of a nice day out, a little warm. I was at our office a little longer than I normally am. Told a co-worker, Curtis, that I was going to go to Tecumseh Energy Center. I had stopped off 6th Street and stopped at a gas station there, got a Gatorade and a sandwich and started to go down the road. Opened the sandwich to find out that it was bad. Turned around, went back, and that changed everything. Initially I was going to go down 40 Highway and turn and go right directly to the plant, but since I came back, now I was facing north, so I went towards Oakland, got a sandwich there. And when I did that, I took the old entrance back towards the plant, which led me right beside the river. And as I was going towards the river, they were talking on the radio about the flood stage of the Kansas River. For me, that's kind of important because I fish quite a bit.
I swung over here to boat ramp to see how high the water was, and I see a little dot floating right there. I turned on my radio and I hear it, "Help me."
And I shut the truck off and I said hello, and I heard, "Please help." And that's kind of where it all started.
And I got out and walked over, and the individual was on the end of the maple tree you can see out over the river, and just hanging on by a branch out there. So I called 911.
Hi, my name's Chad Shafstall. I'm with Wolf Construction. I'm down here at where you can enter the river access, just east of Bailey's, and I got a white Caucasian male about, how old are you, kid? Female? Sorry, I can't see through the weeds. I got a female. How old are you? 28 years old, is down in the river, and she's up against a maple tree out here, and I'm trying to get to her to get her in. I'm going to need some help down here, though.
Okay.
I'm going to have to use both hands, so I'm going to hold on.
Okay, I'm going to get the fire department out there, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She was hanging on the tree, and she was shoulder deep. When I stepped in, of course, I'm a bit bigger than she is. I was also chest deep, but I'm sinking in the mud. It's pretty silty down there. That's when she expressed to me that she can't swim. I got her in between me and the bank, and she's just fine.
By the time officers arrived on scene, Mr. Shafstall had already gotten the young lady out of the river, and they were on the side of the river. It was pretty brave to go out in the river and pull this young lady out. You don't know what's going to happen in the river. There could be holes. One minute you're walking along and you're waist deep, and the next thing you know, you're over your head. She was a special needs person, and I don't think that she even realized what kind of predicament she'd gotten herself into. She said that she went into the water to cool off, and then got taken by the current and was able to grab a branch that was hanging off the bank.
He called me right after. He just goes, "You'll never guess what happened," and then he just went on to say how he, found this woman and pulled her out of the water, and and it was just like, a no big deal to him.
Typically people just call and say there's a problem. They don't intervene usually.
He didn't have to get out of his truck. Chad is a hero for staying and talking to her. He could have just said, "She's crazy, I'm going back to work." He stayed and he made the necessary phone calls to get everyone out to help rescue her.
The current was flowing pretty strongly, and he just went in and went to somebody who needed help, and then afterwards he was just like, it's nothing. But I mean, my hat's off to Chad. Usually it's first responders that do that kind of thing. I think it speaks volumes about his personality and willingness to help others.
I'm a dad, I would expect, if one of my kids needed something and you were there, I would anticipate, just out of their best interest, you would help also. So society-wise, I think everybody needs to be a little more like that. Be your brother's keeper. I tell my guys at work that all the time. I'm a safety officer for my company, and whenever I have meetings with our guys in the morning, we have a kickoff meeting at every job, every morning, every place we work at, to get everybody on the right page, make sure everybody's ready to go. And I always end with, be your brother's keeper.